Hey there, I'm Mr. Catchy, and I'm on a mission to help you unlock your full potential and get to where you truly want to be in life. Welcome to the first episode of our 5-part video series on how to maximize testosterone as a teenager. In this episode, we're going to be exploring the impacts that food has on testosterone levels and which foods you should be eating to enhance those levels and which foods you should be avoiding at all costs. So I'm going to start off this video by giving a personal story that I'd say goes well with this topic. A couple years ago, actually a year or two, after I'd already started self-improvement, I'd already started working out, I'd made some progress in the gym. I was looking better, I was more confident, but still, I was nowhere near where I was today in any metric. But I thought self-improvement was all about looking better so you can get girls. So, I would go to as many parties as I could, as many hangouts as I could, especially if there was girls there. Obviously I was just a kid, right? I was already a teenager, but obviously you want to hang out with your friends. I'm gonna give an example of when I was this girl who's very rich and very popular, who would invite once a year our entire year to her house, and we'd have a pool party there, usually after Halloween. So I had no idea how diet worked, how health worked. And I actually had quite a lot of acne before. Now it's much better because I fixed my diet. But I didn't know that the food I was eating was literally poisoning me. So I'd go to those parties, I'd be having fun. I would just eat a bunch of popcorn, chips, random Cheetos, Takis. What the hell even is Taki made of, man? Now that you think about it, for me it makes no sense to eat those foods anymore, right? To be honest, they don't even taste good. They're just crunchy and they're salty. They're engineered to make you want more. And I had no idea the effect that was having on my testosterone levels. Drinking fucking Coca-Cola. Luckily, I've changed a lot since then. Since I used to go to parties or sleepovers at friends' houses and just eat pizza. A bunch of terrible foods. And along with that, I have been rewarded by a lot of good changes in my health. Just overall the way I look, right? My skin's much better now. Much less acne. I just have a couple of acne scars I have to get rid of now. And the way I feel, right? I feel much smarter, much more alive, right? My mind is much sharper. And in the mornings, I'm rarely bloated, which is also a good thing. But most importantly, my testosterone has skyrocketed. Now that I think about it, it's so obvious that the food which is fueling you, which is the essence that is burnt for your energy, is so closely tied to your testosterone levels. But it makes so much sense now that I've studied it. But back then, I just didn't think about that. So if you resonate with that and you haven't really thought about how you can basically boost 10x your self-improvement simply by changing the foods you are consuming on a daily basis, then you clicked on the right video, man. Now, I'm gonna get to the key points of this video, so make sure to get a pen or a pencil and some paper, like a notebook really, you should have to take notes on this lesson I'm about to give you. So, in this video, we're gonna go over, number one, the numerous benefits of having high testosterone, especially for teenagers, just in case you weren't aware of them yet. I'm gonna give you some examples of specific foods that can help naturally boost your testosterone levels, the top 5 foods that you should avoid, right? The worst food you could consume to maintain healthy testosterone levels. And I'm gonna go over how interestingly it seems to be the most primal, basic, like fatty, like clean, just most basic foods that are the best for your health and your testosterone levels, you know, by association. So, positive testosterone. You've probably heard of them, so I'm just gonna list them off real quickly. So boosting your testosterone levels brings a lot of positive enhancements to your body, just like increased muscle growth, right? You get much faster gains in the gym, increased strength, you've got improved bone density, so your bones literally get harder and stronger and less brittle, harder to break. You get increased energy levels and vitality, so you're gonna start waking up with much more energy. You know, you're gonna really attack the day and the challenges that it proposes. Better mood, you know, you're just gonna be happier overall. Testosterone's a mood stabilizer. You know how girls on their periods, they get moody and they get grumpy and they're mean all of a sudden? That's because their body during that period is secreting a lot of estrogen, which is the female hormone, and that destabilizes mood, right? It makes them unhappy. Testosterone, on the other hand, stabilizes mood, right? It makes you happy, calm, present, stops you from being anxious. Better cognitive function, so you'll just be smarter overall, and improved libido. Libido is a technical term. If you don't know what it means, basically, it's your sex drive. It's what makes you want to dominate women, basically. It's what makes you want to have sex. It's what gives you sexual energy. So testosterone increases that, seeing as, you know, it's in the name. Testosterone is a male sex hormone. And sexual health, but I'm guessing you're not sexually active yet, right? Seeing as neither am I. I'm still underage. So are you, probably. If not, then you'll benefit from that as well. And faster metabolism, and just helps you manage fat in the body, right? You know how dads, right? You know, the dad bod, they have like round stomachs. That's because they have low testosterone. If they had high testosterone, the fat would go to their legs. Most of my fat is stored in my thighs. That's where men are supposed to store the fat, their thighs, and their lower back. That's where men with high testosterone store their fat, because that's, you know, the easiest places to burn the fat, right? If you're going to go on a run, you need a lot of fat in your legs so that you can burn that, and you can keep having energy to sprint after a mammoth, for example. Or if you're going to throw a spear, you need some fat in your lower back because you're contracting those muscles, right? You need easy access fuel. You don't need fat above your abdomen. That's not going to help you at all. You're going to have to, it's very hard to burn that fat because there's like just organs there mostly. And then you're not going to be able to use it very efficiently. So, let's get to the meat and bones of the video. Foods that will boost your testosterone. I think I've already wasted enough time for you. I'm just going to list them now. 10 foods. Shellfish, high in selenium, vitamin D, cholesterol. Shellfish are the number one foods for raising testosterone. Now, that's not a very common thing people eat. You know, shellfish is like oysters, I think. Yeah, I've eaten some in the past, and then you just wake up extra hard the next day. It's actually very funny. But you don't eat those very often. Some foods that you will probably eat more often, especially if you live in Europe like I do, are fatty fish. You know, like salmon, codfish, just, you know, fish with a lot of fat in them. Because the omega-3 in that fish, the cholesterol, that's all going to get turned into testosterone. Leafy green vegetables are the next on our list. Vegetables like spinach. I personally prefer raw spinach. It's just crunchier and it tastes better for me. And, you know, like broccolis are also amazing. A lot of vitamin C in them too, so that's good. Just dark green vegetables, right? Just ask your mom, right? Your mom probably knows, but she's gonna tell you like kale, cabbages, you know, just green vegetables are basically just leaves. Next, cocoa, so cocoa beans, chocolate, but pure chocolate. Not the like random Nestle milk chocolate, which is half sugar, half chemicals, and then like a bit of actual real chocolate in it. Yeah, it has more, but you get the point. I rarely eat chocolate, but when I do eat it, I have 100% cocoa chocolate, where the one ingredient is the cocoa bean. It tastes like dirt. I'm not gonna lie to you, it tastes absolutely horrendous. But it's extremely high in minerals and fats and just vitamins, which is overall amazing for your health. Next on the list is avocados. Avocados are a tricky one because in the short term, right, the fats and all the good minerals in them will raise testosterone and just the chlorophyll, which if you're in high school, you probably learned is like the thing plants use to actually be green. Well, it takes toxins out of your liver. That's overall amazing for health. The issue is avocados are high in some inflammatory like ingredients. I personally have no issue eating avocados. I don't eat them very often, but when I do, I just feel fine afterwards. But for some people who are a bit more sensitive to them, it might just cause inflammation in your body, which might result in your acne getting worse. Berries like blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, they're all great. High in antioxidants, high in water, fructose. That's all great for testosterone. That's actually going to raise your adrenaline as well because of the fructose. Now, this next one is my favorite of the entire list, which is eggs. Eggs are amazing. Great source of protein, vitamin D, actually every single vitamin except from vitamin C, manganese, selenium, cholesterol, amazing. Superfood. If you would only eat eggs for the rest of your life, you would live perfectly fine. Except that you might like lose a lot of weight because they're not actually that caloric. One egg has like 70 calories. Anyways, this chair is squeaky, bro. What? I have to change chairs. So yeah, eggs. I eat 2 eggs every morning because my parents don't let me eat more. They don't want me to get like, they think I'm gonna get, like, I don't know, unhealthy, but I'm gonna do a blood test soon. Trust me, I'm gonna be peak health. Eggs are definitely like #1 best food you could consume daily. I eat them every single day and I have for weeks and weeks and weeks. I feel so much better in my life. My pee-pee is so hard every single morning, like a rock, bro. You're gonna love that feeling once you get there. Now, the next one is weird. Probably no one thought about me mentioning this until this point. But honey. Honey, though it's like 86 grams of pure sugar, the rest is so good for you. And the sugar is actually not even that bad for you. If you eat like 2 teaspoons of honey a day, it's gonna give you all the vitamins and minerals. Amazing for you. And to be honest, it just tastes good, right? And it's natural. One ingredient is just like bee spit. But trust me, it's good for you. Now the next 2 are onions and garlic. I know foods that as a kid you probably didn't like. They're kind of spicy. They have a lot of sulfur in them, but they're great for testosterone. I put garlic in my eggs every day. I just like them naturally. Ever since I was a kid, I've always liked onion and garlic. It tastes good. It adds some extra kick to your food. It's great for testosterone. Yeah, so those were the top 10 foods which will benefit your testosterone level the most. Now, I'm gonna do you one better. I didn't even advertise this at the start of the video. No, I did. Just not on the title. I'm gonna give you the top 5 foods to avoid if you want high testosterone levels and health overall. I mentioned earlier that estrogen is the female sex hormone, and that it does the opposite to testosterone, which is stabilize mood. That's because estrogen lowers testosterone in the body if it's too high. Usually, they're dynamically stable. Testosterone's higher than estrogen in men usually, but when estrogen goes up, testosterone's gonna go down. So these next 5 foods are terrible for testosterone and overall health because they contain high amounts of estrogen or estrogenic-like particles in them. Number 1, seed oils. Seed oils have got to be the biggest scam the world has ever created for food. They were originally made as literal lubricants in factories. They were used to make cogs turn. But somewhere around like 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago maybe even, some genius decided, wait a minute, let's cook our food with industrial lubricant. Like, that guy has ruined so many lives now. I mean, I guess he just didn't know the dangers of it, right? Like sunflower oil, rapeseed oil, linseed oil, soybean oil. It's terrible for you. Every seed oil is extremely high in omega-6. And your body needs a high amount of your body needs a lot of omega-3 and not as much omega-6. But when you have too high omega-6, your body literally slows down. Your metabolism slows down. Your mitochondria, which you probably know is the powerhouse of the cell, break. Omega-6 blocks your mitochondria from working. So seed oils make you dumber, slower, weaker, and fatter. There's no positives, right? If your mom might cook with like sunflower oil, and she's probably gonna say, oh no, because she's probably gonna say like olive oil or butter are bad because they cause heart disease. It's not true. Not in the slightest. The cholesterol you consume from foods does not go into your bloodstream. Now, I'm gonna make a video soon about how you can convince your parents to, apply the things you learned from self-improvement. Because it's hard, they've been brainwashed their entire life, and you're just some, 12-year-old kid, or 13-year-old, or even if you're 18, your parents still might not trust you, right? And it's a very sad reason, but I'll explain that in further videos. So seed oil, terrible. Use olive oil, use coconut oil, use butter. Those are the 3 best oils. I'm sure there are some other oils, like some Indians might use something called like black seed oil. I've heard that's fine, but I don't know, right? Coconut oil, olive oil, butter, just use those. You might use ghee if you're from the Middle East or India as well, but I don't know. I don't know what that is, to be honest. I'm white, I'm a Caucasian. I just butter, man. Olive oil, coconut oil, that's it. That's all I cook my food in. And I think I've gotten my parents to start using that by now. So that's better. I just switched chairs. Hopefully it's not creaky anymore. And hopefully still in the camera frame. As I was saying, soy is the second worst food you could ever consume in your life. It's extremely high in phytoestrogens, which for those of you who still aren't in middle school or high school, phyto means plant. Estrogen means estrogen, right? Phytoestrogen just means plant estrogens, right? Things like isoflavones, just a bunch of complicated words, but it basically means it's poisonous, it's cancerous, and it lowers testosterone. Now, number 3, bread, pastries, and desserts. That should be pretty obvious, right? They make you fat, you would know that, right? They're high in sugars, terrible like trans fats. They cause cancer. Like bread is the least bad of all of these. Pastries and desserts are worse, but I still wouldn't eat bread that often. I rarely eat bread. I've actually been eating it a bit more recently because it's my birthday, and yeah. But just eat those very rarely, if at all. Right? I only ate 1 slice of birthday cake, and that's like the first sweet I've eaten since Christmas. And then I only ate like 1 slice of another cake. So 2 slices of cake a year is probably fine for your testosterone. But I guess I'm coping, I should eat less. Now, number 4, processed and refined sugars and foods, right? McDonald's, fast food, terrible. It's like bread and pastries and desserts. Bunch of random ingredients in them you don't want. Bunch of estrogens in them. Just everything that's processed is going to have random chemicals, and you don't want that in your body. Now, number 5 is actually weird. They're not technically unhealthy, and no one would assume they're unhealthy, but just weirdly enough, they lower testosterone levels. So mint and licorice. No one really likes licorice. Some people do. I actually liked it a little bit, but don't eat that. And mint as well it just lowers testosterone level. I'm not exactly sure why. I think they just have phytoestrogens in them. They're probably the least worst of this list, but they're still kind of bad. Alright, I apologize for this cut as well. My uncle and aunt arrived now and wished me happy birthday again. I got a pretty nice polo shirt as a gift. It's cool. So, now, this last point isn't exactly a piece of advice. You can skip this if you want, but if you're interested, stick around. Yeah. Primal and fatty foods. You've probably noticed that most of these foods which I've told you to eat are just normal one ingredient foods, right? Very basic, very boring, really. They're very primal, and most of them are high in fats. You can imagine a caveman would walk around, find these foods randomly, right? They'd find a chicken, and they'd like beat it up, kill it, take its eggs, crack them, cook them on a rock, and eat them. And they'd find berries and eat them, some fruits. Avocados definitely have been eaten for thousands of years in like Mexico or whatever. Anyways, you could tell that these are natural and unprocessed foods, and you should, if anything, the golden rule is eat natural foods. Eat like humans have eaten for the last 10,000 years. You really need to avoid those factory-made, processed like sweets. Those are terrible. Who eats sweets, bro? Like little burgers from McDonald's. Some burgers are fine if they're made at home. And good restaurants with good ingredients, that will probably be fine. It's still not that healthy because of the bread and like random sauces it might have, but it's less bad. So natural basic foods treat the body way better than any processed or non-natural foods. And though these are all high in fat, I'll explain in future videos that that's actually not even bad. Trust me, you will not get heart disease, your kidneys will not collapse, nothing bad has happened. I look healthier, I feel healthier, and so do so many other people who go on healthier diets, right? They have, just choose foods that have no ingredients, right? 1, 2 ingredients, maybe like if you want to make a sandwich or something. But really, choose foods that are closer to their natural state, because they have the most nutrients and minerals, and just to make sure that you're in peak health, and that you have the highest testosterone you could have from food. So in conclusion, by you making these choices to better your diet and put healthier foods that make you glow more, literally, and you understand now the benefits of increasing testosterone, you're going to positively influence the rest of your life from this one video if you apply these foods, like dietary choices and recommendations that I've been giving to you. Ultimately, this is going to contribute to a stronger, more powerful, faster, more masculine version of yourself, right? Because you're eating like a man now. Not like some little kid eating freaking cereal from a bowl and sweets because he answered 5 questions right, so the teacher wrote his name on the board. No. To be fair, actually getting these foods shouldn't be that hard. Next time your mom goes to the grocery store, to the shop to buy some food, ask to go with her. She'll probably smile and be like, oh, nice, right? You'll get some bonding time with your mom. And then when you're there, right, your mom's putting the foods normally that you eat. If you live in a household where your parents are bringing sweets home, which is unfortunate, right? You'll be there, you can probably say to your mom, and she's gonna smile and grab your cheek and she's gonna smile at you, and it'll be a very nice moment. She's gonna be like, ooh, you can say something like, Mom, I think we should make the choice to eat healthier. So, and then you're gonna grab some broccoli or whatever and just put it in the shopping cart, and she's gonna smile at you. It'll be a very nice, funny moment. So then just make an effort when you're at home. Start by just eating no dessert after dinner. It shouldn't be that hard. I know you want to. Sometimes you're gonna do it, but it's better to just start cutting these things off one by one. And just make an effort to eat those foods, right? It shouldn't be hard. So, if you resonated with my story, at the start, going to parties or sleepovers and just eating terrible foods filled with random chemicals, and if you think you gained value from the advice I've given you, the foods to eat, foods to avoid, don't forget to subscribe and like this video to support this community. If you like this video, the algorithm is gonna take it and show it to more people. Now, you want other people to be healthier as well. So when you're literally contributing to someone's overall health, and that also means you get extra friends who might be on self-improvement, who you will then become stronger friends with, and you'll grow so much faster because you're friends, right? As always, your questions and your comments from this video are very important. So keep this conversation alive by sharing your thoughts down below. See you, bro.